talking points.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, like, what is Andy Reid's worst day as the head coach? On coaching. I mean, losing to the Bucs in the Super Bowl the way they did, that's a terrible day. But I'm saying where
the Raider game
Andy
last year
Reid
jumps out, but
where Andy Reid, you're like, what were you doing?
Oh, I think it's not going for the throat enough when you have control of a game.
But I think there's a game. It's the
game.
Bengals. It's against the Bengals where we ended up for every time we talked to him for 5 days, had to keep asking him the same question about, hey, did you consider this? I don't even remember what it was. McDowell would remember it because it was Sam, and I know I had to ask it once, and Todd had to ask it once, and Sam had to ask it once, and we got to, post game he didn't answer. It was like, why didn't you do this? It's letting them score. I think it was like letting the Bengals score. Like
the game at Cincy in 20.
Yeah,
21.
His worst day.
When they ran like 9 plays from inside the 5.
And then, it was like, well, but you had no clock. And he's like, right, we did, they scored. Yeah, after 9 plays, Andy. But we're talking about, like, did you consider it on the first one so you might have had some time for Pat? Like, that was his worst day, in my opinion, because for 5 days he tried to evade the question. And it wouldn't go. Sunday after the game, Monday on the Zoom. And the Zoom, you get muted after one question. Then we get him Wednesday at the podium, and we were really there. And then I think they even came back on Friday like, listen, you still didn't kind of get to this. And my point to that is there better be somebody in that building, their analytics guy that they like to point to. Somebody better have a voice that's more than just, here's some numbers, Andy, take a look at this, that can say to him, look, like, you've got to start managing that they're coming at you with 8s, not 7s. You got to start managing that they're using all 4 downs and not 3, because I guarantee you the Bengals will do it next week.
Yep. Right. And the other part is, for as innovative and evolving as Andy Reid is, he still is at heart an old school football guy.
Yes.
And the idea of for him, I think, of allowing another team to score is galling.
But, I mean, think about
it. I think it is.
I agree.
So just say it. Just say, that's something that's just not in my DNA. Or, we could have stopped him. I have trust in my defense. Say something, even if it's dumb. I mean, say it, because that's what you were saying.
Yeah. He can tap
by not
3
letting them score, your actions said it.
Yeah.
So just say it.
Yeah, and here after they had a big win, I don't like we're on the negative side of things, but I do think like Jim Harbaugh went for it on 4th down. Jim Harbaugh was going for 2. Like
John Harbaugh.
He was ready.
But Jim Harbaugh probably will too.
Yeah, but he was ready to rock and fire at any moment. Like, go for it. And they went for it and got it. And they went for it again and didn't get it, right? But it didn't kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happened when he got it? Well, you turned it right back over, because that's the whole thing is like, just because you don't get it doesn't mean they automatically get 7 points, Coach. Yeah. If you believe in your defense, okay, they still get to go out there and save you, which the Ravens defense did.
It's something that Andy Reid can, and as you say, he's a better coach than John Harbaugh, but John Harbaugh is at least in his league.
Yes.
And he can learn something from John Harbaugh, who has evolved to that point. Now, John Harbaugh, to me, if I want to ding his coaching, he doesn't, and Andy kind of does this too, he lets his players be themselves, whatever. Well, he's got to rein these clowns in a little bit more. I mean, you can't go around saying, without retribution, well, if that's all you got for us, good luck in the playoffs. I mean, what kind of a moron says that? I mean, he seems like kind of a smart fellow. He was erudite there, except what he was saying.
He was erudite in the tunnel.
He said it well.
He said it well.
But it was dumb.
But they're probably going to play him again.
And they beat you in your barn.
There's no logic to it. It's just moronic. Yeah. But even if you believe it, don't say it. I'm sure I know you're mad. You're an inch away from being the hero. Lamar Jackson is an inch away from being the leader in the clubhouse for the MVP in the National Football League after that game last night. If that ball is caught, that's an epic performance. So, but my goodness. And he wasn't the only one who spewed
Roquan Smith with his
trying to pick a fight with Peyton Hendershot, who wasn't even active.
I'll have something for 88.
I'll have something for him.
Mahomes did flop, but it was a penalty.
Yeah,
it was a clear penalty.
On the other side of the white.
He was 3 yards out. He was, he was. However wide that stripe is, it's more than a yard. Yes. I know that. It's probably 2 yards.
He was at the far edge of the white. He was almost
way out, and it wasn't. And he he pushed him. I mean, it was it wasn't he just brushed him and Mahomes went, whoa, like a soccer player or something. It was, no, it was bad. It was a surefire penalty. Now, I think the Ravens had some beefs too, but I don't think the game was particularly well officiated, but I'm sure you're shocked by that.
I am not shocked. And I think it'll be interesting to see if we get a couple of games of everybody. I think every game is going to have a bunch of lined up in the backfield penalties. I think it's coming in every game you're going to watch this weekend, maybe tonight with the Packers and Eagles. And then my question is, like, on week 3, you're like, all right, we're done with that. And you're going to again see the tackles, lined up, behind the running backs out on that side. I'll buy that they're going to stick to it when they stick to it.
Right. Maybe the idea behind it is they want, I think, sacking the quarterback is, as much as they don't like it from an injury standpoint, I think it's an exciting football play.
Yeah.
And I think they feel like the offensive linemen are getting too much of an advantage if they're allowed to do that. And I think they're right.
Yeah, I agree. Danny Klinkskill's with us. We're broadcasting live here at My Freight World. You can be a part of their great team. Right before we went to break last time, and then when we went to break, there was a duck race going on that had the entire office.
I knew there was some kind of video game race.
Yeah, it was a duck race, and somebody.
I looked up and I thought it was that it was that it was a NASCAR. It
was like a video game.
It was NASCAR, and the screen had gone goofy.
Oh, that's what you thought it was?
Yeah, I thought it. Oh, they're watching the end of a net. No, that's not it.
It's a great place. If you want to be a part of it, check them out online, myfreightworld.com. Click on the careers tab. The transportation industry, one of the largest industries in the world. My Freight World has no limit on how much money you can make. They're looking to hire some energetic employees, empowering their sales reps with all the tools for success and not limiting how much money you can make. Highest base salaries in the business. They got some of the highest base salaries in the business and a commission structure that goes up with the more success that you have. Check it out online at myfreightworld.com. Click on the careers tab. Danny Klinkskill, always brought to you by our friends at Easton Roofing, whether it's commercial or residential. A lot of damage this summer. A lot of hail. We haven't had hail for a while. We had a bunch of hail. We had a bunch of wind. If that roof's getting a little bit older, get it checked before the cold weather gets in and you have big, big problems. No cost for an inspection. No cost for an estimate with Easton Roofing. Getting you back to work faster. That's Easton Roofing. Integrity matters.
More of Danny's Reasonably Irreverent podcast after this.
Hey Kansas City, Joe Spiker, Easton Roofing, back for another beautiful springtime in Kansas City. We are proud to announce our renewed partnership with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Kansas City. Starting in 2024, a portion of every job sold will be donated to a cause close to my heart. I was a big, and I encourage you to volunteer. And if you hire us for service on your residential or commercial roof, you'll know that a portion of the profits will go to a great cause. So call us at 913-257-5426. Easton Roofing. Integrity matters.
You're in the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. The Friday atmosphere here at My Freight World is absolutely fantastic. Got some nuggets, got some sandwiches, good sense sandwiches for everybody. Everybody having a good time here at My Freight World. If you want to be a part of their great team, go to the website, myfreightworld.com, click on careers. Great industry, one of the biggest in the world, the transportation industry, and My Freight World, great KC company, taking care of their employees, giving them the resources they need to succeed, and not limiting what you can make. So if you're motivated to make some money, get in right now. myfreightworld.com. Click on the careers tab. We're only over here when they need people, and we're not over here that often. So, it's not that often that they're looking. So I would jump on it right now if you're looking for a gig. myfreightworld.com. Click on the careers tab right now. Petro, Siebold, Travetta back at the studio. Danny Klinkskill's with us. Brought to you by our great friends at Easton Roofing, online at eastonroofing.com, handling roofs on buildings like this one, which is a big one over here on College, but also on just a small home. They handle it all at Easton Roofing. Find them online at eastonroofing.com. Danny, you want to say something preposterously stupid about the Royals, so I'm going to give you the floor.
I think if the Royals miss the playoffs now, from this point, it's going to be one of the more disastrous.
Right now, after they've lost, coming off losing 7 in a row and have lost one of their key cogs for the rest of the regular season, factoring that in.
Factoring that in as well, I think it will be one of the more epic collapses in the history of the game. Because I think, first of all, I think they almost can win like a handful of games. And who's going to win? Who's going to finish over 500?
The Tigers.
Maybe.
The Tigers have the schedule to do it.
But they immediately...
And they've got 3 head-to-head with the Royals.
And they immediately... Yeah, they can. But if the Royals, they probably have to do something like go 6-16 or 5-15, which would mean you lost something around 23 of your last 30.
So, but in the stretch against the top teams, they're now, what, 5-9, Curtis? That's right.
Well, yeah,
5-9.
Right.
I mean, that's what they're doing now. And that's what they've done all year. I mean, coming into this,
coming into
the moment that Vinny Pasquantino got hurt,
right?
They were basically a 500 club against everybody but the White Sox,
right?
And so that's obviously not a team that's built for battle.
I'm not saying that they are a great team. What I'm saying is it still will be viewed, and mathematically will. In history, it'll say, well, the Royals had this playoff spot all but locked up and then lost 23 of their last 30 games. That's just a collapse. That's all. It's a collapse. I'm not saying that it ruins the franchise or that this team is great and they're screwing up a championship opportunity. I mean, I'm saying none of those things. I'm just saying that it will, and I don't expect it to happen. I think they're going to limp into the playoffs, which will be great.
I think they're going to limp into the playoffs as well, but I bristle at the idea that a team that won 56 games the next year can be in any way, shape, or form, particularly when they take on the injury that they took on. I cannot go anywhere near that statement. In fact, I think you need to lean over here and give me your chin. I think I want to take a swing.
Well, I stand by.
He's not getting up.
But it's more just based on...
I'm not going to... Can you get...
Come on over so I can hit you.
Damn you, ice cream.
I'm just going to stand on mathematics and history. That's it.
If any local high school teams find Danny hanging by his underwear from their goalpost before the game tonight,
I did it.
You'll know why. You'll know who did it.
I can't go there. Because we said it a long time ago. I said if they're still in contention and at the end they flop, you watch. Everyone's going to say it's a flop. It is no. I mean. They won 56 games, and in one off season, did a phenomenal job.
All true.
Of handling literally the bare minimum of what it takes to create a playoff team, which is incredibly hard. They pretty much had to not miss on anything to do it. And now the one thing they couldn't handle was losing one of the big guys to an injury. And now that they've done it, there's no way. There is no depth in this team. None. None.
I'm still going to say that, and I'm not going to say that that this will be a ding on.
Matt Quatrero should have a tall, pointy hat with like a star and a moon on it because he is and a big staff and a long beard because he's a freaking wizard to do what he's done with this
I think that
team.
even if they did flop enough to miss the playoffs, that probably J.J. Picollo still deserves Executive of the Year. But just you get to this point and you play 280 baseball. I don't care. That's a collapse. All right. That's what it would be. That's what it's going to take. I don't think they're going to do it.
I want to be clear. I'm not bristling at the term collapse. Yes, they would have collapsed.
Right.
And injury would have played the biggest part in it. But when you say it's one of the biggest collapses of all time, that's where I'm like, no. Teams have been in first place and not gotten there at the end. Things have gone bad. This team, the margin of error has been razor thin all year long, and it's finally catching up to them. I'm with you. I think they're going to limp in, and this will be a complete waste of both of our breaths.
Right.
Which we don't have that many left, so I'm not sure why we're doing it. But I can't go with it.
Because I also think that it will, to reinforce my calamitous statement, once they get through with this, the schedule's easy. So
no, it's not.
It's easy.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Get out of here, Danny.
See ya.
I don't want to see you anymore.
And I'll be at the ballpark being a fan tonight.
We hope you enjoyed the latest Danny Klingscale Reasonably Irreverent podcast. Come back soon for something fresh and new. This podcast was made possible by our great sponsors like Easton Roofing, where integrity matters. Joe Spiker and his team are the best in the business for all your roofing needs, handled with honesty and craftsmanship. Visit them at eastonroofing.com.